I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.
Great Mother speaks to us in raw, realistic, and righteousness. Great Mother speaks to those of us who are most alienated from her unconditional love due to our birth mother experience. Here, welcome to Great Mother Speaks.
Hi, everybody. I know it's been a while, but I have really missed you. I hope everybody's doing well and that this eclipse season is just blessing you, blessing you, blessing you. If you don't feel that it is, these readings are for you. Now, of course, with eclipses, they are relevant for 6 to 18 months during the eclipse period. And, I tell you that if you really want to keep up with what Great Mother is doing, you need to go to mamadramatrauma.info. That's where I've been spending most of my time with the support group and the deck that's coming out. And remember, Great Mother created this deck for us to heal. It's a process. Everybody has their own process. I know I've been living in loving detachment from my mother for 13 years. And this eclipse brought up so much for me still. It takes a while. And so the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck has been having classes. We've been having support groups online and in my community. And so it's been awesome. So I'll get videos up when I can. Great Mother inspired me to share these videos with you. But before I do, what came up for me is that even after 13 years of working with my divinity identity, of being a dearly loved child of Great Mother, Father, God. Now say it with me, those of you who've been watching for a while. And those of you who haven't, this channel is Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck that is designed for people with mama drama trauma, a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. In cases where she is unwilling, unable, and unavailable to heal her own trauma, because it is a cycle, in order for the child to be healed, she must or he must learn to live in loving detachment. Okay? Accepting the mother that we have, letting go of the mother that we want so we can accept the one we have. That's when we know that we're healed from MDT. But sometimes even when we're healed from things, we can have little, things that come up. You may have had a hip surgery and you're fine, you can walk, your hip's not broken anymore, but every once in a while when it rains, it might get sore. We're triggered as well. And eclipses have a tendency to do that because they're all about balance. They occur to balance the Earth's biosphere, the animal kingdom, our waters. Our internal waters were made up of at least 70 to 80% water. It's a balancing mechanism that Great Mother, Father, God have for us to sustain life on this planet. Things get out of balance, right? And so it happens internally as well. Everything starts from spirit before it's manifested in physical form. So the moon and the sun do their thing. And so, long story short, with what happened to me, starting with the new moon, what came up for me, and this is what the solar eclipses, it always happens in the new moon. Solar eclipses reveal to you inner wisdom that we have been denying, we've been ignoring, we've been minimizing, that we haven't prioritized for whatever reason. There's no judgment, no condemnation, no tea, no shade, but it's something important that we have not looked at. Okay? And so that's what solar eclipses do. They bring up what needs to be brought up for us to acknowledge for our highest good. And then they're followed with the lunar eclipse that is all about who we truly are. So we have the solar eclipse, it's about who we think we are, but then the solar eclipse really shows us what we really need to know that's going on with who we are. And then the lunar eclipse is telling us what needs to be released in order for us to fulfill our true identity, in order for us to fulfill who our soul is. So what came up for me during the solar eclipse was that I needed to pay attention to how I was communicating to people. I needed to really pay attention to my perception of what people were saying to me and how I was interpreting conversations, because I was just really getting short and really getting irritated a lot with people and feeling like I knew what they meant and this and whatever, and really getting triggered with a whole bunch of MDT, getting deep into that. And so I knew it was out of balance, but then when the solar eclipse came, it confirmed it. You need to pay attention to that. So in the interim since then, what this lunar eclipse has shown me, and I'll just give you an illustration. Me and my man went to the movies this past weekend. We went to go see that movie Crawl. It is crazy. Live in Florida. Had to see it. It's a good movie though. I didn't think it was going to be good, but it is. And has a lot of spiritual connotations. I wasn't expecting that. We were driving in the car and we were talking about a guest visiting, as we often have in Florida, and going back and forth about what we're going to do and everything when they came. And we were driving up to the theater or whatever like that, and he was like, okay, we're in the present now. We're in the present. We need to be in the present, so let's go. And I was like, what? You the one brought up the conversation about planning for the future. Now you're going to tell me, it's, you need to be in the present, like that, because I'm always telling him that. And so I thought he was bringing it back on me. And I snapped. And he looked at me like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Come on, let's go to the movie. We're in the present. And it came to me like that from Great Mother. That's what I meant, Tammy. That's what I meant. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that no more to people, because it's hurting you more. You see, he wasn't even paying no attention to what you tripping on. But you were feeling so angry and so upset because you were interpreting it as judgment and condemnation. Like he's judging you for not being in the present, because that's what you was doing when you were telling him to be in the present. Girl, stop. You don't know what people people are chilling. They're not coming at you like that. You coming at them like that. Stop. So, Great Mother is so merciful. It's so graceful. And I'm so grateful because that has taken such a load off my shoulders. Just not carrying that weight around of knowing what everybody's thinking. Anyway, Great Mother wanted me to share that with you because living and loving detachment is a process. And loving detachment is accepting what is. And what is what is. It is what we think it is in the moment, in the time. And we have to work with where we are. And so over 13 years, I've been in many places with accepting what is. Accepting that my mother was an alcoholic. Accepting that she didn't want to have a relationship with me. Accepting that she couldn't accept me for who I am. Accepting that, she judged me and condemned me for doing the voodoo, talking to Great Mother. Except, it's a long journey of accepting what is. And this eclipse came up, and they normally come up during eclipses, by the way. Accept the fact that you are allowing yourself to be triggered by that judgment and condemnation from MDT, that blame. You're triggering yourself, girlfriend. Stop it. You've been conditioned to do that, but you don't have to keep on doing that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. It's keeping you from enjoying your life. And I needed to bring that to your attention so that you can get in alignment with who you are. You are a dearly loved child of the Great Mother, Father, God, who's never judged, condemned, or left alone. Okay? So this reading for each of you, we're going to look at what the solar eclipse brought up for you, your moon sign. And check your moon sign calculator below. I know some of you watch based on your Western moon sign, but it is a 24-degree different with the Vedic in 24 degrees precession. So, for example, I am Gemini moon in the Western and Taurus moon in the Vedic because of the 24-degree difference. And it does make a difference if you really do intuit very strongly. The Jyotish is going to, in many cases, be more appropriate for you, but not necessarily, because there are obviously other aspects to your chart. So, with no further ado, I want you to realize that this reading will show you what came up for you and who you truly are in relationship to Great Mother's support of you at this time moving forward. The entire cosmos is supporting us uniquely and individually in ways that we cannot imagine. But through Great Mother Speaks, we'll have an idea. Come over to Mama Drama Trauma and join us. There's some very affordable classes. The new deck is going to be coming out, so you can pre-order, get into the tutorial so that you can do your own readings to gauge your own process. Thanks for watching. Hi Virgo moon sign people. We're going to look at what came up for you during the solar eclipse with regard to what you tell yourself about yourself, what you found out during the solar eclipse about what you tell yourself about yourself, and what's happening now with regard to the lunar eclipse, lining up who you really are with who you say that you are. What came up for you 2 weeks ago, July 2nd, was that during that solar eclipse, there was an internal confirmation that you need to take care of yourself. You need to focus on yourself. With this eclipse being 4th house energy, that is very maternal energy. And it's hearkening back to that eclipse because the Isis self-mothering card is a full moon card. It's a root chakra full moon card. And you really want to pay attention to what you have been doing since that time to answer that call, because who you probably thought you were was someone who didn't need to self-mother, or you thought that you needed to take care of your mother. So that opened up a lens for you into this world of grounding yourself through self-mothering. And since that time and up to now, there now is an understanding that in order to do that, you're going to have to line up with your centering practices. And so whether that's meditation, whether that is talking to a guru or someone, again, that you respect and that you can have calm, peaceful conversations about your life with, get some insight about, whatever your centering practice is. It may be breath work, it may be walking the beach, it may be walking your dog. You've come, and this lunar eclipse, if it hasn't already come up, it's becoming clear to you that in order for you to do the self-mothering work, line up who you thought you were, who you didn't think you were, but who Great Mother needs you to understand that your thinking will best align with who you really are, is this centering. In order for you to self-mother, you're going to have to center yourself on a daily basis. That's what this eclipse is bringing to your understanding. That 4th house energy of Sagittarius telling you that for you to feel at home in your own body, you're going to have to create that home, body, mind, and soul. We have the centering here with Dorothy clicking her heels 3 times. Body, mind, and soul. Now, you might not realize that this process is going on in such a powerful way. You may have just kind of felt little or gotten little indications that you do need to take care of yourself, but sometimes, again, these energies can be so subtle, it hasn't really been exactly clear. But for Virgo moon, once you do tune in on something, you can really get to the details of it. And some of you have probably felt that you are undergoing a resurrection of sorts. And if you haven't, that is in your shadow position, the Osiris Horus card, that you are being reborn. You are being completely reconfigured emotionally, and that would indicate that for most of you, you were caretaking for others instead of yourself, which is typical Virgo moon. And Great Mother is flipping that with this eclipse. Great Mother, Father God, I should say, because it is a full moon. What you want is to have a new sense of self. You do want to recreate yourself, but the guilt is just really keeping you from pursuing your desires at this particular time. But what will support you in getting over that guilt is realizing that the mother that you want is not the mother that you have. So you keep on thinking that if you do more and you take care of her more, many of you, that she will change. Or some of you have realized that you have given your all, which is why you have gotten the message, I need to take care of myself. You are realizing that no matter what you do, she is not going to change. Your expectations of who she should be, rather, is not going to make her who you want her to be. And so the energy that is supporting you is that realization really coming into focus, speaking of new lens. So your present ego soul alignment is one of purification. You are being purified internally, that resurrection, that realignment of your emotions from being the caregiver, the caretaker of others, to doing that for yourself. This is very, very important. We hear this a lot, and it can begin to kind of sound a little, redundant. But for this eclipse, for you, this is what it's about. And why your soul wants to do this work is because it knows that it's time for you just to acknowledge this situation is not changing. It is never going to fully support you. You are never going to feel fully secure in this situation. You are never going to feel fully safe. All of those fantasies that you have about who your mother should be, that's all they are fantasies. And I know how painful that is to come to that realization. I know how excruciating it is to feel that I don't have a mother. But I also know that the mother of all mothers, Great Mother, will completely take over and mother us both. Help teach me how to mother myself and teach my mother if she's willing, able, and available. And that's what this is saying. This is saying that you're able and you're ready, but are you willing? That's the free will. Are you willing to really take care of yourself? And those of you who are, and that have already acknowledged that the abandonment and abuse is not going to change, you've seen beyond the curtain. This is total on the curtain. You've seen beyond the curtain, and you know that it's not what, it's all cracked up to be. But at the same time, it's like, hey, I've been on this journey. I'm going to see it the rest of the way through. I know that this is a soul contract, and what else is coming? Having that kind of courage and that kind of fortitude, and reallocating it to that kind of dynamic, as opposed to continuing to invest it in something that will never pay off for you. And by doing that, your outcome is going to be just a realization that you have done all that you can do from a material, physical, mental, intellectual level. And that now it's time to allow Great Mother's energies to come in and to, like in the Twister dream, just course correct your path, your journey, from where it was with the taking care of others to taking care of yourself, something that you probably never imagined doing or think that you are able to do. Great Mother's coming through and she's saying that you're able. She's saying that you're ready. The energies are aligned such that you're ready, but are you willing? And Dorothy wasn't willing, which is why the Twister dream came. So be careful, because we do have eclipses coming up at the end of the year, December 26th, that will revisit these issues into the end of this entire eclipse season of Gemini in Rahu and K2 Sagittarius and K2 and Sagittarius in the south. Hope you enjoy this eclipse season and take advantage of the energies from Great Mother that are supporting you.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter.